Hey guys, Nick here. Welcome back to my channel. Last week we got a brand new MCU movie with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness and the finale of Moon Knight. So today I'll be ranking all 33 MCU movies and TV shows. This list will not be including What If I have not seen the first show, and it's all about the killing. So I will not be including What If. So let's get started. At number 33 we have Thor: The Dark World. This one is for sure the most forgettable MCU movie. So this movie is bland, it's boring. You got a whole ass subplot involving Cat Gettins, Cat Gettins, and Dave fucking, I remember there was like a day, he's all day, the Cat gets like begging, bugging them. And it's pointless. It's the villain Malachi is the most forgettable villain in the entire MCU. Um, I mean, there's some okay action, but overall, this one gets like the most forgettable. And one of maybe besides the Incredible Hulk is a movie that can correlate well with the MCU besides a couple of events. They're gonna be like, oh, well, they're gonna take this, this. No, because even Thor Ragnarok ignores this movie. And the only thing, the only movie that acknowledges it is Endgame, and that is because this movie, that's because Endgame, like, goes back to when Thor's mom died. So yeah, you gotta fake it all together. But besides that, I really forgot about MCU movies. And number 32, I have Iron Man 2. One of some okay action sequences, there are far so many in between. You also got a really messy plot, and you got all these characters, you got Black Widow thrown in there, you got your Megan Nixon, but then you got Whiplash and his Iron Man's own villain got focus on. You got so many characters being thrown at you. There's so many plots. It fits included. Like, okay, well, I want to make a new Scandal story. But we gotta include the younger stuff here too, because we gotta set up your things. It doesn't feel like its own thing, like Iron Man did. Like the failed disappointing sequel. Some okay moments. Robert Downey Jr. looks still great, but it's just such a messy movie. And number 31, I have Eternals. Um, I saw this movie as an advanced screening, actually. I saw this movie about 3 days early. Well, 2 days early, really, Thursday night. I saw it Tuesday night. And as I was watching, I'm like, this is not good. It is messy. And it's messy, boring. There's some old, I would admit, it looks beautiful. Cinematography is great. Um, some okay action sequences, but in the end, I did not like the idea that Turla off Ajax, who was played by Selma Hayek, and that's how they all get together. And then the plot of what is supposed to be weird for this character, but then you cook out, oh, she's the one who gets the cause all this to happen. Oh, well, I would not, and then they redeem him. Like, well, you just made me hate him. But now why I redeem him? No, it's stupid. Um, like movie, like movie wasn't bad at Disney Plus shows because there was so much stuff. And it just felt exhausting, but at the same time, I felt like nothing happened. I felt like they wanted to go to the past to make time and the present. Just didn't work out for me. The one movie, definitely. And you know what I will say? I would rather watch Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 2, because I think there's characters, more characters that I like. And not overstuffing me with stuff I don't care about. And number 3, I have Thor. Um, Thor is a decent movie. It's okay. I like the introduction of Thor. I do think some parts are a little a little slow, but I do like the fish. I do dig fish out of water movies. This was certainly one of them. I think once again the dino scene is one of the greatest comedic scenes in the MCU. In my opinion, I think that's great and hilarious. That's a nice jump between Loki and Thor. I guess the introduction into Asgard and Thor is great. Um, but it just goes so it's kind of slow. There's a lot of exposition and rewatches. It's just like doesn't hold up as well, you know. It's not a great movie, but it's okay, and I'd rather watch it than like Eternals. At number 29, I have Doctor Strange, the first one. On rewatch, which I watched it for the first time after 6 years, actually, before Doctor Strange 2. It has some okay sequences. It has some decent action in the movie, and I like the character of Doctor Strange. I like how his character evolved from not just a kind of asshole to like a little bit more of a still douchebag but cares more about people. I do like that. Yeah, but I will also say that that it is one thing. It's a formulaic. It feels like it's doing Iron Man all over again. Like it got the same beats, it got a character getting, well, in this case, hurt and needs to rebuild himself and learn the new things, just the new life. So it just doesn't work. It's a fine movie. I just felt that it just feels a little more stale than usual. Now it's like okay, like like it's okay. It's just not what I want. I will find myself if I'm in the mood for an MCU movie. This is not one I'm gonna watch. At number 28, we have Black Widow. I actually did like this movie a little bit more when I first saw it. But I did that maybe because, oh, the MCU is back. Movies are back. Let's go. First time 2 years in MCU movie, let's go. I look at the opening scene where they have Natasha, Florence Pugh, cool, I'm blanking on her name. Um, and the Red Guardian and the mom. I think that's a great sequence. I think that escape is great. That opening scene with smells like teen spirit cover. It's great. I'm like, oh, are we in for maybe a possibly great MCU movie? Maybe one of the best MCU movies? Then declines as it gets a little more new. I formulaic. I would like to use that one. Cause this movie is entertaining. And the first two acts had to go really strong, really good, but then you got Taskmaster, who's a complete waste of villain. She's a complete waste. Not a good villain at all. And then you got that. Then you got that third act, which I think falls a little bit flat, and they were like, I like how the first two acts felt a little more grounded. But they were like, okay, well now we gotta go all out. We gotta have a big superhero falling down explosion action sequence, so we gotta do that. That's what it feels like to me. Not great. It's so it's entertaining. You know, I'll watch it again. Of course, I think that the prison sequences when they get break out of prison, I think that's a lot of fun. That's a really fun sequence. But like I said, the first two acts are really good. The third act is what really brings it down for me. Like I'll watch it. Also, another thing is there's no stakes in this movie. We know where Black Widow's gonna end up here. We know where most of the characters are going to end up in the end of this movie. It's not like, oh, Black Widow got died. Like, I kind of escaped from like, well, we know that she's gonna live. We saw her die in Endgame. We saw her in Infinity War. We know this takes place before those movies. So as a prequel, it's a little bit. At number 27, we have Captain America, the First Avenger. Um, once again, a pretty fun movie. I like the World War II, World War One. I forget who they fighting. I like the war aspect of it. I can't remember if it's World War One or World War Two. I am sorry, I don't check. World War Two. So I was getting that right. World War One movie, World War Two Captain America. There we go. Okay, so World, I like the World War II aspect of it, and I like Hugo Red West Girl. It has some fun action sequences, these all do, but the story gets a little more basic. Has some slow moments. It's a decent movie, a perfectly good movie, but I don't know, I get spoiled a little bit more. Don't have a lot to say about that one. Number 26 is the Incredible Hulk. I have a lot of nostalgia for Incredible Hulk. This is one my dad introduced me to. I really like to flick at God, man, the Incredible Hulk book. So, and I have a lot of fun with this movie. It's not the best. Of course, it has some slow moments. Again, it obviously gets going for the rest of the MCU now. But it's a fun movie. I love the final battle between Abomination and Hulk. That's awesome. That's an awesome sequence, awesome fun fight. It's um, it's a fun movie. I think the Hulk design in this movie looks way better than the features in the MCU. What's in the MCU? It's like it's but here it feels like a badass. I feel like Hulk is actually awesome in this movie. So yeah, you can argue Bruce Banner's better than the other movie, because yeah, he is. But as the Hulk design, I feel like it's way more badass in this movie. Number 25, we have Captain Marvel. I didn't hate this one actually as much as you guys, as a lot of people did. Um, the first two acts I think are really strong and really good. I know a lot of people think the first act isn't great. And I had a lot of fun with them. But then the third act comes, and that's when the movie gets good. And there is a lot of stuff happening. I get like what you're saying, the schools all the time being good. I get like that. And the fact that, oh, the fact I had Nick Fury lost his eye, oh, the cat scratch, lame. It's, it's good. It's decent. I have fun with it. There's some good moments. I'm hoping the sequel's better. I'm hoping the sequel's a lot better though. I never quite thought of Avengers Age of Ultron. One for me, definitely the worst, obviously the worst Avengers movie. Had some good sequences in it, but didn't live up to what the original was. No, they never could have put it on some, no, same, the feeling of, oh god, the characters come together, get it here as well in this one. And you're like, okay, we saw it the first one. Ultron is disappointing. He feels like a joke in this movie more as a badass, a brilliant. I know there's one scene I remember in this movie where it's like, Ultron like say something bad, and he's like, can that work? And I'm like, yeah, you just cut off something that could have been an awesome line. Like, come on, really? It's fine, but definitely have audio Avengers movies from what I've been watching at least. But I will say, Hulk versus Hulkbuster scene is awesome. One of the best action scenes in the MCU. 23 Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the first TV we saw on this list. I thought this movie was mid, and the show was mid. It get really short getting good to episode 4. I see John Walker like being that guy, big movie that guy. I think, okay, this show got getting really good. Before that, the show gets really slow, and I was not a fan. I think toward the end of the show did get really good, but yeah. Number 22 is Moon Knight. Started off great. I really like the first few 5 episodes. Episode 5 phenomenal. The main plot, Oscar Isaac is also phenomenal in this movie and the show. My main problem with the feels forced. I could give them out, calculate how long. It's actually only a 4 hour show. I think this, no, this feels way too short. Ethan Hawke feels like a waste. And they need to get weird. The show's like Marvel needs to get weird of 6 episode, 45-minute format. Because it's not working. But something like movie, this should have been like hour and a half long episodes, maybe even a movie, just to make this as good as it could have been. And it wasn't. So that's why I got number 22. Number 21 is Iron Man 3. I actually really love this movie. And maybe going on become a space once I watch it maybe. But I love this movie. I love the idea of explore more of who Tony Stark is, especially post Avengers, where he had PTSD, and not more like, oh, I'm a people. No, it's like more of a Tony Stark character, and learning more about his character. And I really liked that. Still got some great action sequences in the MCU, but he got good jokes. I love Iron Man. He's a promising character in the MCU, but what explored was great though. Number 20 is Ant-Man and the Wasp. The movie was honestly not as good as the first Ant-Man because of big surprise. We'll talk about that later though. But Ant-Man and the Wasp was a pretty good movie. Ghost is not a very good villain. And I actually forgot who the villain even was until a few days ago when somebody brought it up. I'm like, oh yeah, Ghost is the villain of that movie. Um, Paul was great at Ant-Man. It's just a ton of fun. Saturday morning fun. My main part of this movie is the third act. The third act of this movie feels like some of the second act better. That's what it feels like. It feels like they filmed it to be the second act, like, oh, we have to, okay, like make this the third act sequel. Like, it felt like I would watch it second act. It felt like the movie sort of kept going. It felt like there should have been more after. But still good, fun movie. I had a blast with it. And number 19 is Hawkeye. And honestly, it's a great show. I like it more than most people, actually. I like the chill vibe of this show. It's chill. It's, you got, um, got more lore about Hawkeye and his family. It's a great Kate Bishop. And Kugasa was awesome. I'm gonna say she's more a part of the MCU. But I had a blast with the show. It's always a lot of fun. Seeing Vincent D'Onofrio return as Kingpin was great. I'm really good at this. I really love the show more than what people actually. Um, at number 18 is Black Panther. I think this is a great movie. It is a great movie. And very close to the point. I do agree with that. But it's not good. It's not like best MCU movie, top 2 MCU movie. I don't think it's still a great movie. Kevin Bosman Masterpiece was fantastic as T'Challa. But it's not top 2 MCU movies for me. And it's still a great movie. It's well made. Killmonger is awesome. Got some iffy CGI in there, of course. But I do think it's a great movie, an important movie for the MCU as well. It got a lot of great action sequences, and the third act is a lot of fun, even with the questionable CGI. Got that. Until the second act, everybody's like in the jumping on the car. The action was a lot of fun. But yeah, I have a fun time with this movie. I'm required to get back here. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I think it's a great movie. The humor, though, it does not work. One of those jokes in this movie doesn't work at all. At number 17, we have Ant-Man. Yeah, 17, we have Ant-Man. This movie, I was expecting this to be like, oh boy, this is gonna be the first major bomb of the MCU. This movie's gonna suck. And it's not gonna be any. The movie just sucked. I thought this movie was gonna suck so bad. I walked into it, had a blast with it. I love what Peyton Reed gives the movies. I love how he sold. I love how he sold like him from Lincoln Guy, how he sold the space, how after was big for him. I love the action sequences. They were a ton of fun. I feel like let's get better in the second movie. Like I eventually had like got in the bathtub and I guess goes down, but that's a ton of fun. The ending is awesome. I had a ton of fun too. When they're on the train, that's a ton of fun. Really fun movie, big surprise. Paul was fantastic as Ant-Man. I'm really glad he's in the MCU. I'm excited for Ant-Man to watch 3 next year. At number 16, we have Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, I've only seen this movie one time so far in the theater, so I could say what was better if we watched this. But I thought this movie was also great, and some of the best action scenes in the MCU. For sure, Simon Liu as Shang-Chi was fantastic. But he was fantastic. A lot of people have problems with the story arc. I thought the story arc was a lot of fun and really enjoyed it. And I thought Aquafina was gonna be annoying as the character as the comedic lead pretty much, but she was great and actually really funny in the movie. Really liked this one a lot. Number 15 is the newest movie, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This movie, I was just hoping it would be top 5 MCU movie. It wasn't, but still a great movie. I love what Sam Raimi brought into this movie. I love Chris Vincent. I love how wacky it was, and how even creepy parts were of this movie. Like those parts where I was creeped out. I'm like, this is a Sam Raimi movie, and I loved every minute. I loved the ride it took me on. And it felt old school. It felt like felt like I was watching a Spider-Man movie. It felt like I was watching a Spider-Man mixed with Evil Dead, and I loved it. And I can't wait to see it again. I think it's a good. Sure, maybe the script could have been better, a little bit better to be done, but I think that what Sam Raimi brought to the table was fantastic. And number 14 is Guardians of the Galaxy. I used to have a lot of mixed opinions on this movie, but I actually love this movie. I love the cast. I love I love Chris Pratt, Peter Quill, and Zoe Saldana, and Gamora, Rocket, Groot, and everyone's fantastic. And this movie has fantastic chemistry. And I like fantastic chemistry in this movie. And the action sequences, which is fantastic. And I love how James Gunn brought really an unknown MCU property and made it great, made people fall in love with these characters. He took C-list characters and made them A-list, and made everyone fall in love with them. And number 13 is the start of it all, Iron Man. I love Iron Man. At this point, might seem a little formulaic, but what it did for the MCU, how they made this movie great. Because if this movie did not come out as great as it is, we would not have had any of these other movies. And it's a fantastic movie. It's a great movie. It's a lot of fun. Robert Downey Jr.'s incredible cast as Iron Man. I can't say anybody else plays him, honestly. I quit my weakness is the villain. I think the villain's a little weak. But that's about it. I had a blast with this movie. And number 12 is Thor Ragnarok, which I have not seen 60 years. But Taika Waititi made Thor good. I cannot wait for Thor Love and Thunder later in July. We'll get too much right. But what he brought to the table with this movie was awesome. I love the addition of Hulk in this movie. I think that's a great addition. I love the comedic potential between them and everyone is good. I love how funny this movie is because it can be dark and serious like the first two. He brought life into the Thor. And I actually made Thor a more likable character. Because I feel like before this movie, a lot of people were like, oh, I don't care about Thor. But now he's like, oh, Thor's awesome now. Yeah. But I think he is a great addition and great addition to the MCU. I think Hila, look at how you say her name, it's fantastic in this movie. She's a great villain, really badass, and I cannot wait for Thor Love and Thunder. At number 11 is Spider-Man Homecoming. The MCU did a really good job at putting Spider-Man into the MCU. And for a movie that, honestly, wasn't even planned until, 2015? Like, yeah, because like, 2014 was the biggest Spider-Man, so this movie wasn't planned until the film. It wove into the MCU perfectly. I felt like a really great addition. Tom Holland's fantastic as Spider-Man. I love him as Spider-Man. I love how we actually get a younger kid and more like kid in this as Spider-Man. And then that's fantastic. I love Ned in this movie. I think Ned is an awesome character. The movie got into a little more layered action than the other two Spider-Man movies and the other MCU movies, but I would say it makes up for the charm of this movie. Because the movie has a lot of charm, a lot of horror, and it's just a complete, it's just more of an MCU movie I want to watch, I want to feel good, you know? Like, oh, I want to feel good MCU movie. Let's watch Spider-Man Homecoming. It's definitely more than that time. It was some parts like, oh, okay, this part's depression or whatever. No, it's just a feel good MCU movie. I don't know. And number 10 is Captain America Civil War. That and this movie got so fantastic. I love seeing the both sides of them. The Team Cap, the Team Iron Man, like, oh, we should be regular, but no, we shouldn't. That's great. Seeing everyone team up with each other on either side. And that big put action sequence is phenomenal. I won't go as far as to say, oh, one of the best action sequences of the MCU. It's not. I do love the action sequence, though. It is a great action sequence. But I would say, oh, one of the best action sequences in the MCU. I like them, like, a great action sequence for sure. But not one of the best. It's not. And it's just an awesome movie. I do maybe think that was a little lackluster, but still a great movie. At number 9 is WandaVision. I think WandaVision is a great show. Actually, got more continuation of it and Multiverse of Madness, which I loved. But I love seeing Wanda's arc in the show. I love seeing the sitcom elements of it. I don't know, I think it's a fantastic show. I don't know what to say about it, but it's a really great show. It was a great start to the TV show, but nothing that, well, actually, the one to be it, but I'm hoping we get more Squad MCU shows. Number 8 is Spider-Man Far From Home. I think this is another great MCU movie. It's a ton of fun. I love seeing Spider-Man go out international, be international in this movie. I think that's a blast. A lot more really good humor, a lot of great action sequences. You got MJ, you got him yelling at MJ. Now Spider-Man got more action data in this movie, who I think is fantastic in this movie and a great addition. But yeah, I love this movie. I think it's a ton of fun. I love Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I think he's awesome. And I think it's a great, fun summer blockbuster. Number 7, I have a movie that just continues on again, The Avengers. Nothing will ever beat seeing this team up for the first time together ever. Like, even seeing that same secret scene in Endgame in the years 2019 didn't feel the same as seeing it for the first time in theaters back in 2012. Dude, it just felt big, and playing the fans with how big this franchise is. This movie is good. I mean, the acting's incredible. Not that I would like sequence was awesome. I guess we finally got all the characters coming together, and then they're all here, they're fighting together, teaming up, and then that sequence just like the theme is amazing. The low level beat seeing this movie for the first time, because if you saw Avengers at the end, you were in for something special. The way I like seeing, like, Infinity or something, no, you were in, you knew this was the beginning. This was really the beginning of the MCU. Like I know Iron Man was technically, but this was like the bigger picture. Like, oh, that could be more. That's just Avengers. There could be more expanding, and I loved it. And I got the Thanos post question for like, oh my god, what are we in for the next how many years? I mean, now we're at 14 years. And still going. So, at number 6 is Loki. I think this is a phenomenal show. I love Tom Hiddleston as Loki. I I love him as Loki. I think seeing him in this movie. I love Owen Wilson as Mobius. Not Morbius, Mobius. In this movie, I think he was great. And the banter and the laughter was great. I love seeing the story unfold. I love seeing them have this. Love how what is set up for the future of the MCU with the multiple I can see right now. With Kane, which I'm excited to see more of. I think we're seeing him in Ant-Man the Wasp. Um, but I think they're phenomenal movies, and I love. I went into my top 5 MCU movies of all time. At number 5, we have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Yes, I think this movie's a lot better than the first one. It's more colorful, it's more fun. You don't gotta wait to set up one up, so it's like, we're going right into the action, right into what's going on. The others are even more funnier than in the first one. It's great. And just a blast to watch. I cannot wait for the Volume 3 next year. I know a lot of people are gonna like this one, but I just kind of see why. But this is a good. Number 4, we got Avengers Infinity War. This movie was great. And seeing even more characters came up and seeing it's great. Seeing them take down to fight Thanos is awesome. Seeing their collect on the skulls is awesome. I remember, even before this movie came out, I remember being like, oh, I bet it was Thor Ragnarok when he said that he could get one of the stones. When Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, he could get one of the stones. No, they saved that all for the most, for this movie. I loved that. I loved how he saw it. I loved it's more of it's a Thanos story and an Avengers story. And I think it does it super, super well. It's a full on action movie. We got action like every 10 minutes. And it's great. Even seeing the heroes lose in this movie is great too. I mean, seeing something different new. I see one shake up in Avengers Endgame. It's great. And number 3, we have Avengers Endgame. Well, maybe the second act doesn't work as well for me now as a Black Down. It's still a great, great movie that I absolutely love. Seeing the original 6 Avengers all come together, we're like, oh, well, we need to team up and try to figure out how to come problem. Seeing Tony like figuring out well, I'm a kid now. I have a family. Should I even do this? What's my life? Again, seeing that is great. And the third act, which I would say probably the best act is the best act in the MCU. It's the best act in the MCU. Okay, that. Yes. Seeing every single one, seeing people, everyone come through those portals in the end of the movie. And be like, oh wait, the Avengers team got to play it, and then we see them all fight. It's awesome. It was an awesome theater experience, and I loved it. Coming in second place, my runner-up is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This movie was awesome. I saw this movie twice as a teenager. I loved it. Phenomenal action sequences, some of the best in the MCU. I love how Sam Raimi introduced the gorilla aspect of it. Oh my god, guys, I want to give Doctor Strange. I said Sam Raimi instead of Anthony Russo. Oh god, the Russo brothers did a phenomenal job with this movie and continue going from where we left off the event. Build more off it. I say some of these are some of the best actors in the MCU. And they're doing some mistakes in this movie. Like, I actually thought Nick Fury was gonna die. When I saw this movie 8 years ago, I thought Nick Fury was gonna die. He did not. But I know he was gonna die. And I see Bucky in this movie, I'm like, oh my god, but like I didn't even know what Bucky before. I'm like, oh, that's Captain America. Oh crap. I'm like, what? This movie was insane. I loved it. Yeah, I can't believe it's been 8 years since this movie came out because this movie was just phenomenal. But yeah, it's not my favorite MCU movie. It got beat last year. I think we got no one movie to talk about. At number one, my favorite MCU movie of all time goes to Spider-Man No Way Home. Everybody knows why I love this movie. I saw the movie 3 times in the theater, even with that game. Yeah, good. Oh, I love the story. I love how it continues off far from home. And, feeling Peter's identity and needing to fix it sort of with the, and then you got freaking Dark coming in, got Green Goblin. Only I thought gives a, and William Dafoe gives a phenomenal performance as as Green Goblin. I could like to go back now. As Green Goblin was great. Yeah, this movie, and of course the best part of the movie, Toby and Andrew. Seeing them in this movie made me feel like a kid again. It made me feel like I was a kid seeing them in the theater again. And I was watching Spider-Man for the first time. That's what it felt like. Seeing my entire theater, you walk into tears like this is bigger than any tears going to Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. And my theater was going ancient when Toby and Andrew appeared. And I'm like, let's go! Well, now, I just want to talk about something crazy. The fact that in this movie, the Toby and Andrew, when the MCU started, Spider-Man 3 just ended. It just came out of your part. People, they were planning Spider-Man 4. We're gonna wait for Spider-Man 4. When Avengers came out, Amazing Spider-Man 3 had even released. Like, we got a trailer for Amazing Spider-Man. And one of the original Avengers movie. And now, they are now in the MCU. Guys are saying, that's a decent actress. And the movie's later on the action sequences, I would say, the other movies in the first God, but I don't care because I was so happy to see, and it worked. It wasn't just, it didn't feel forced. It did not feel forced having Toby and Andrew in this movie. Like, it felt natural. It felt like, okay, this needed to happen so Tom's character could come out. Like, but I got a lot of, it's a really sad movie too, a lot of emotional sequences, but yeah, this movie is just phenomenal. When I saw it, I couldn't even think, I thought this movie was a dream. I thought I was dreaming this movie. This movie did not feel real. I own this movie on Blu-ray now. It still doesn't feel real like this movie exists. Like, I felt like I was watching Avengers again. Like, oh my god, this movie exists, and all human. Yeah, well, that's how I felt this movie. They sat down on the big screen too, seeing Toby Andrew and Tom all like, oh my, I love this movie. Well, I was hoping Doctor Strange would be a little bit, but no, I love Doctor Strange. I do. And I love this movie too. It's great. Fantastic. I love it. My favorite MCU movie. And I cannot wait to see what the MCU has to offer after all this. I mean, that's the one in July. Which I'm hoping it's great. I think it's gonna be great. That's what I think it will be. But yeah, guys, that is my ranking of the MCU movies. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video.